Have you ever wondered why your dog tilts its head when you talk to it? Why does it walk in circles several times before going to sleep? Why do some dogs constantly lick their owners or bring them a toy only to run away the moment their owner tries to take it? These behaviors may look funny, strange, or sometimes even annoying, but behind these seemingly unusual actions, your dog may actually be trying to communicate with you. Dogs cannot simply say, "I'm stressed, I love you," or "I want your attention," the way humans can. Instead, they use their body language, eyes, sounds, and behaviors to express what they're feeling. Today, we're going to explore 7 strange dog behaviors and the psychology that may be hiding behind them. And the final one may reveal something especially meaningful. You might actually be your dog's safe place. The first behavior is when a dog chases its own tail in circles. Some dogs do it only a few times before stopping, while others can keep spinning around again and again, leaving their owners wondering, what exactly is it doing? In many cases, chasing the tail can simply be a form of play, a way to release excess energy or reaction to something interesting in its environment, especially in young and energetic dogs. But if this behavior happens very frequently and seems almost impossible for the dog to stop, or if the dog also bites, licks, or injures its tail or body, it should not simply be dismissed as something funny. Repetitive behavior can sometimes be associated with stress, boredom, anxiety, or even physical problems, such as itching or pain. So if your dog chases its tail occasionally, there may be nothing to worry about. But if it happens repeatedly and begins interfering with everyday life, it could be your dog's way of saying something doesn't feel right. The next behavior is probably one of the most adorable things dogs do, tilting their heads when we talk to them. You call your dog's name or say, "Do you want to go for a walk?" and suddenly its head tilts to one side as if it is carefully listening to every word. But what does this actually mean? Researchers believe that head tilting may be related to the way dogs process sounds and familiar words, especially when we use words they recognize such as walk, treat, or their own name. Tilting the head may help them process the sound or pay closer attention to our facial expressions and reactions. And there's another interesting possibility. If every time your dog tilts its head, you laugh, pet it, or speak to it in a cute voice, the dog may learn, "When I do this, my human gives me attention." So what looks like an adorable natural reaction may eventually become a behavior the dog intentionally repeats because it receives a positive response from you. The third behavior is something many dog owners have experienced. You walk into the bathroom and your dog follows you. You close the door and it sits outside waiting. Some dogs will even stare at you the entire time you're in there. But why does your dog feel the need to follow you everywhere? For dogs, staying close to members of their social group can be very important. Their human family is part of the environment they know and trust, and their owners provide food, safety, companionship, and social interaction. So following you from room to room may simply come from attachment, habit, curiosity, or a desire to stay close. Some dogs may be basically thinking, "Wherever my human goes, I'm going too." But if your dog cannot tolerate being away from you, cries, panics, or destroys things whenever it is separated from you, that could be a sign of separation-related distress and should be observed carefully, because sometimes love and anxiety can look surprisingly similar. Have you ever noticed your dog walking in circles before going to sleep? 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, and then it finally lies down. It may look like your dog is simply searching for the perfect sleeping position, but this behavior has roots in its past. The ancestors of modern dogs often rested in natural environments, and walking in circles may have helped them inspect the area and prepare a suitable place to sleep. Even though today's dogs may sleep on soft beds in comfortable air-conditioned rooms, some of those instincts can still remain. However, if a dog keeps walking around for a long time, seems unable to find a comfortable position, appears restless, or shows signs of pain, it may be more than just instinct. This is especially important in older dogs, where unusual pacing or repeatedly changing positions may sometimes be associated with health problems. So, walking in circles a few times before sleeping can be completely normal, but prolonged restless pacing is something an owner should pay attention to. Next is a behavior that some people absolutely love, while others eventually have to say, "Okay, enough," and that behavior is licking. Dogs may lick our faces, hands, arms, or legs, but what are they trying to tell us? Licking can have many different meanings. It can be a social behavior, a greeting, a way of seeking attention, or simply a behavior that the dog has learned through experience. Think about it this way. Every time your dog licks you and you laugh, pet it, or speak to it in a cute voice, the dog receives a response. From the dog's perspective, that response can become a reward. It may learn, "If I lick my human, they will pay attention to me." Licking can also happen when a dog feels anxious or is trying to reduce tension in a situation. So we should not immediately assume, "My dog licks me because it loves me." Instead, look at the whole picture. What is its tail doing? Where are its ears? Is its body relaxed or tense? And what situation is it in that moment? Because understanding a dog's language is not about looking at one behavior alone. It's about looking at the whole picture. Now we come to number 6. You may have seen your dog walk towards you carrying a toy. It stands right in front of you and looks at you as if saying, "Let's play." You reach out to take the toy, but suddenly the dog runs away. Then, just a few seconds later, it comes back again. So, what does it actually want? In many cases, this is a social game. Your dog is trying to interact with you. It may not actually want you to take the toy away. Instead, it wants you to play with it. This behavior also shows how well dogs can learn from human reactions. If running away causes you to chase after them, your dog may quickly learn, this is our game. And sometimes bringing a toy to you is simply a way of creating interaction with someone the dog trusts. It's not just bringing you a toy, it's inviting you into its world. And now we come to the final behavior. It may seem completely ordinary, but it can carry an interesting social meaning. Your dog walks over and sits beside you. It rests its head against you, lies on your feet, or presses its entire body against you until you barely have any room to move. Why does it want to stay so close? For dogs, physical contact can be an important part of bonding and seeking comfort. Your scent, your voice, and your touch are familiar things that may help your dog feel secure, especially in situations that make the dog uncertain, such as loud noises, unfamiliar people, or unfamiliar environments. Staying close to its owner may be one way of seeking reassurance and stability. But there is something important to remember. Every dog has a different personality. Some dogs love sleeping right next to their owners all the time, while others may love their owners deeply but still prefer having their own personal space. So never judge how much a dog loves you based on only how closely it stays to you. Sometimes a dog sleeping 2 meters away can love you just as much as the dog lying directly on your feet. In the end, strange dog behaviors rarely have only one possible meaning. Chasing the tail may be simply play. Tilting the head may be an attempt to process sounds. Following an owner may come from attachment. Walking in circles before sleeping may be an instinctive behavior. Licking may be a greeting or a way of seeking attention. Bringing a toy may be an invitation to play. And lying close to you may be a way of seeking comfort and security. The most important thing is not to look at a dog's behavior in isolation, but to consider the whole picture. Dogs cannot speak to us using human language, but they are communicating with us all the time through their eyes, tails, ears, body language, sounds, and all those little behaviors we often overlook. And sometimes what we think is simply a strange habit may actually be a quiet message from their heart saying, I trust you. So if you have a dog at home tonight, take a closer look at it. You may discover that all this time your dog has been trying to tell you much more than you ever realized.